The biting wind seemed to carry the weight of the world as I stood before the remnants of our people at Castle Black. The air was thick with the scent of smoke and the echoes of a battle that had left us all scarred. The once mighty fortress now lay in ruins, a stark reminder of the price we had paid for our survival. The battle had been won, but at a terrible cost. The ground was littered with the remnants of our struggle, the bodies of our fallen comrades, a somber testament to the ferocity of the fight. The village, once bustling with life, now stood silent and desolate, its buildings reduced to charred skeletons. Our world lay fractured, the land scarred, and the living haunted by the memories of the dead. The once pristine snow was now stained with the blood of those who had given their lives for our cause. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional creak of a collapsing structure or the distant howl of the wind. We stand here today, not as victors celebrating triumph, but as survivors. Each face in the crowd bore the marks of our shared ordeal, the lines of grief and exhaustion etched deeply into their features. Yet, amidst the sorrow, there was a glimmer of determination, a spark of hope that refused to be extinguished. We have seen the abyss, stared into the face of oblivion, and emerged, broken but not defeated. Our spirits, though battered, remained unyielding. We had faced the darkness and survived. And now we stood on the precipice of a new beginning.
The faces that looked back at Jon were a tapestry of weariness and resilience. Each person carried their own story of loss and survival, their eyes reflecting the hardships they had endured. Yet there was a shared sense of purpose, a collective resolve to rebuild and move forward. They were a motley assembly bound by loss and the fragile hope for a better tomorrow. Despite their differences, they were united by a common goal: to create a future where their children could live in peace and prosperity. The bonds forged in the fires of adversity were strong, and they would need to rely on each other in the days to come. From the corner of his eye, Jon saw Tormund Giantsbane, his face a mask of stoicism, yet a flicker of approval in his eyes. Tormund, a fierce warrior and loyal friend, had been a pillar of strength throughout their ordeal. His presence was a reminder that even in the darkest times, there were those who would stand by you, unwavering and steadfast.
The path ahead will be fraught with challenges. The road to recovery would be long and arduous, filled with obstacles that would test their resolve. But they had faced worse and survived, and they would do so again. Together they would navigate the treacherous terrain, supporting each other every step of the way. The long night has passed, but winter's grip still lingers. The cold, harsh reality of their situation was a constant reminder of the work that lay ahead. But with the dawn came the promise of a new day, a chance to rebuild and reclaim what had been lost. The rising sun cast a golden hue over the frosty landscape, a symbol of hope and renewal. We must rebuild, not just our homes, but our lives, our trust, our future. The task before them was daunting, but not insurmountable. With determination and hard work, they would restore their village to its former glory. Each brick laid, each wall erected was a step towards healing and renewal. The community came together, united in their efforts to create a better future. The wall may stand no more, but we will build anew. The great barrier that had once protected them was gone, but its spirit lived on in the hearts of the survivors. They would construct new defenses, stronger and more resilient than before. The lessons learned from their past would guide them as they forged a new path forward. We will stand together, united in our purpose. We will survive. The bonds of camaraderie and shared experience would be their greatest strength. Together, they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident in their ability to overcome. The future was uncertain, but with unity and determination, they would carve out a new destiny for themselves and for generations to come.
Later that day, as the weak sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows over the ruined courtyard, Jon found himself standing with Tormund. The air was thick with the scent of decay and the whispers of the past. The ruins around them were a stark reminder of the battles fought and the lives lost. The once grand courtyard now lay in desolation, a testament to the ravages of time and war.
You truly believe we can rebuild, Jon Snow? The weight of the question hung heavily in the air as if the very stones of the courtyard were listening. "We must, Tormund." Jon's voice was firm, yet there was a hint of uncertainty. The task ahead was monumental, but the alternative was unthinkable. There is no other way. His eyes scanned the ruins, seeing not just the destruction, but the potential for rebirth. "The free folk, they roam as they please, always have." Tormund's voice was tinged with pride and a touch of sadness. "The freedom they cherished came with a price. This rebuilding, it is a new concept for my people. The idea of settling down, of creating something permanent, was foreign to them." "Then we will learn together." Jon's voice was filled with determination. They had faced countless challenges before, and they would face this one together. "Your strength and resilience are invaluable, old friend." Jon's words were sincere, a recognition of the bond they shared and the battles they had fought side by side.
Tormund grunted, a flicker of a smile touching his lips. It was a rare moment of levity in a world that had seen too much darkness.
"Aye, we giants are a stubborn lot." Tormund's voice was filled with a mix of pride and defiance. They had survived against all odds, and they would continue to do so. Stubborn enough to survive even this. His words were a promise, a vow to endure and rebuild.
As if on cue, a shadow passed over them. The air grew colder and a sense of foreboding settled over the courtyard. They both looked up, startled. The sight above them was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Drogon, his scales shimmering even in the fading light, circled overhead, a mournful cry escaping his throat. The dragon's presence was a reminder of the power and majesty that once ruled the skies. He had been restless since Daenerys. The loss of his queen had left a void that even the vast skies could not fill.
"The dragon grieves." Tormund's voice was soft, filled with a rare empathy. The bond between dragon and rider was deeper than most could understand. "He flies east." Jon's voice was thoughtful, as if he was trying to decipher the dragon's intentions. "Towards the ancient ruins," the whispers say. The legend spoke of a place where dragons once thrived, a city lost to time. Towards the old dragon city. The very name of the place was shrouded in mystery and myth. "He carries a heavy burden. The weight of grief." Tormund's voice was heavy with understanding. The dragon's sorrow was a mirror to their own. The weight of a queen. The memory of Daenerys lingered, a ghost that haunted both man and beast.
That night, unable to shake the unease that clung to him like a shroud, Jon found himself drawn to the library. It was as if an invisible force was guiding his steps, compelling him to seek answers in the forgotten corners of this ancient place. The library, with its towering shelves and labyrinthine passages, had always been a sanctuary of knowledge, a place where the past whispered its secrets to those willing to listen. The room was cold, the air thick with the smell of damp parchment and decay. Each breath he took seemed to draw in the weight of centuries, the dust of ages past settling in his lungs. The walls, lined with books that had not been touched in years, seemed to close in around him, their silent presence both comforting and oppressive. The fire in the hearth had long burned out, leaving only embers glowing faintly in the darkness. The room was cast in a dim, eerie light, the shadows dancing on the walls like spectres from another time. Jon could almost hear the crackle of the flames that once roared in the fireplace, a distant memory of warmth in the cold, desolate room. He ran his fingers over the spines of ancient tomes, their titles a whispered promise of forgotten lore. Each book held a story, a fragment of history waiting to be uncovered. The leather bindings were cracked and worn, the gold lettering faded with time, but the knowledge within was timeless, a testament to the enduring power of the written word. The stories they held, once dismissed as myths and legends, now seemed chillingly prescient, tales of heroes and monsters, of magic and mystery that had once been relegated to the realm of fantasy, now took on a new significance. The line between reality and myth had blurred, and Jon found himself questioning everything he had ever known. The long night, the White Walkers, the whispers of ancient magic. It had all come to pass. The world had changed, and with it the understanding of its history. The ancient prophecies, the warnings of old had been fulfilled, and the consequences were still unfolding. Jon felt a deep sense of foreboding, a realization that the past was not as distant as he had once believed.
My fingers brushed against a particularly worn volume, its cover devoid of any markings. It was as if the book had been waiting for me, hidden among the countless others, its secrets guarded by the passage of time. The leather was smooth under my touch, the edges frayed, a testament to its age and the countless hands that had held it before me. I pulled it from the shelf, its pages stiff with age. The binding creaked as I opened it, the sound echoing in the silent room. The paper was yellowed and brittle, the ink faded but still legible. Each page was a window into the past, a glimpse into a world long gone but not forgotten. As I opened it, a musty scent filled the air, and I found myself staring at intricate diagrams and faded script. The symbols were unfamiliar, their meaning lost to time, but there was a sense of power in their design, a hint of the magic they once represented. The diagrams depicted scenes of wonder and terror, of creatures and forces beyond comprehension.
The children of the forest, the writing confirmed, beings of myth and legend, creatures of the deep woods, they were real. The stories of their existence, once thought to be mere folklore, were true. They had walked the earth, their magic intertwined with the very fabric of the world. Their presence was a reminder of the ancient forces that still lingered, unseen but ever present. The book spoke of their ancient pacts, their connection to the land, their magic raw and primal. It was a magic that defied understanding, a power that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The children had wielded this magic with a wisdom that had been lost to the ages, their knowledge a beacon in the darkness of the past. It spoke of their creations, beings of ice and shadow, born of desperation and wielding a power beyond comprehension. The White Walkers. These creatures, forged in the crucible of ancient magic, were a testament to the lengths the children had gone to protect their world. But in their creation they had unleashed a force that would haunt the world for millennia. A cold dread settled in Jon's gut, the realization that the past was not truly past, that the echoes of ancient magic still reverberated through the world, was a chilling thought. The battles they had fought, the enemies they had vanquished, were but a part of a larger, more complex tapestry of history and magic. They had vanquished the Night King, but what of the magic that had birthed him? The power that had created the White Walkers, that had shaped the very course of history, still lingered. It was a force that could not be easily dismissed, a reminder that the world was still full of mysteries and dangers yet to be uncovered. What echoes of it remained, lurking in the shadows of a shattered world? The questions weighed heavily on Jon's mind as he closed the book and returned it to its place on the shelf. The library, with its silent, watchful presence, seemed to hold the answers he sought, but they were not easily found. The journey to uncover the truth, to understand the full extent of the ancient magic that still influenced their world, was just beginning. Jon knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but he was determined to follow it, to seek out the knowledge that could help them navigate the challenges to come. The echoes of ancient magic were a reminder that the past was never truly gone, and that the future was still being written.